This is the first in a series of advocacy videos called Advocacy Tips for Nonprofits in Less Than 5 Minutes. And we want to start with the topic of engaging legislative staff, and that's staff that work with our state assembly members and state senators. And I have with me here today Esthela Pacheco, who is the legislative director for Assemblymember Mike A. Gipson, who represents the 64th district, Assembly District in California. So welcome, Esthela.
Hi, Lucy. Thank you for having me.
Hi. Well, it's so fun to do this with you because you and I have a relationship and have done a lot of work together. So I'm really grateful to you for being willing to do this. So I wanted to just start with a little bit about why it's important for people to meet with legislative staff and why have a good relationship with legislative staff. And I guess I'll just say a couple of things and then it'd be great to hear from you. But legislative staff are the people who talk to the legislators about your issue. So how you present the information to leg staff is really important because they are then going to take what you have said and share it with their bosses, and it'll form their bosses' opinions about how to act with regard to your issue. And legislative staff work so hard. They are involved in so many different kinds of things. So Esthela, it'd be great if you would just talk a little bit more about what it is leg staff do.
Yeah, so legislative staff in Sacramento. So we basically will run help mold the assembly member senator's vision. So they'll come to us and be like, these are the things that I want to accomplish this year. And it's our job to figure out how to do that, right? So we basically will present to him legislative ideas, which will then become bills. And it is our responsibility for us to basically have that bill from introduction all the way, maneuver it through the legislative process till it gets to the governor's desk and so on. We also do press conferences, we do press releases, we meet with organizations, we meet with constituents. We really end up being advocates inside of the assembly members' offices. So like you said, if somebody reaches out to us and they have a meeting with me, I can then be their voice and advocate within the assembly member's office.
And as part of what you all do, also staff committees and caucuses and things like that. I mean, I know your boss is the head of the Dem caucus. So can you say a little bit about that role too?
Yes, we do. So we have a staff that's assigned to Dem caucus. He'll do anything from running the agenda to ordering food. We also staff the member on committees that he sits on. So we'll basically make sure that he's prepared. So every bill that will go through X committee, we'll have it in a little bit in advance what bills will be going through there. It is our responsibility to be able to take notes and be able to brief the member on what's going on in this bill, who supports it, who opposes it, and why he should or should not support the bill at that time.
That's great to know. We're really happy that Assemblymember Gipson is going to be a member of the newly shaped Select Committee for Nonprofits. And I know that he's been a member in the past, so we're really glad to have him there. So let's talk a little bit about how people can get in touch with leg staff. Now, the way I've done it is to go to the website, the Assembly website, look up the Assembly member that I want to have contact with, call that office, and talk about the topic that I want to discuss with somebody in that office. And then whoever picks up the phone usually will say which staffer that is. And then if I have their full name, I know how to email them. But I usually ask do they like to schedule by email, or do they like to schedule, or do you have a scheduler who will do that? Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, I mean, the only mistake that I see some people doing is that they'll call our district staff. So you should just be wary that you're contacting the Capitol office and not the district office. But yes, somebody will always answer your phone. If you call the district, hopefully they'll connect you to the Capitol office. It gets a little bit weird right now because of COVID, but we're all still answering our phones. So that's the best way to do it. Go to the website, find out what our phone number is, call the office. Usually our scheduler will answer right now, and she'll be able to give you the full staff's name and our email for whoever covers that policy area. Something else that's pretty neat, I think, that people don't do enough of is meet and greets. So it's
Hmm.
more so not necessarily this is what I'm asking for and this is why I'm meeting with you, but this is who I am, this is what we do, and this is why we want to have, like, to start that relationship with the office or that staffer.
So you don't have to have a particular ask. It can be really just to say who you are as an organization and what issues you really care about.
Right, absolutely.
That's great. So then I can use your email address and email you and ask for an appointment. Is that the best way to do it?
Exactly. Exactly.